Okay, I'm at this road right here. And you watch, I'm in the turning lane, and you see there's several people in front of me. Somebody, this is what Adam and I have definitely noticed. Somebody in this lane, this turning lane, is not going to be paying attention. They're going to be texting or something, and they're going to slow us all up. Okay, it just like never fails anymore. There's somebody who's not going to be paying attention because they're using their cell phone, whether they're talking on it or texting on it or watching something on it. Now, watch it make a liar out of me, and I'll be happy if it does. Yeah, really, I will be happy if it does. Okay, let's see. Let's see if it happens. Come on, let's see if it happens. They made a liar out of me. Yay! I know I'm weird. Okay, I'm weird. I just am. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going another place, yet another place, and another place. Okay, this one is driving a little bit slow for this road, so let's not do that. How about it? This is 40 or 45. And they're going 30. So you made a liar out of me back there, but not on the road. It's usually somebody in the middle lane going slow. I don't know about where you live, but the middle lane is 40. In the middle lane, you don't go slow in the middle lane. You don't go slow in any of them. Man, there are so many people out these days that that you go the speed limit, they're gonna try to hit you. They're gonna tailgate, all that stuff. And oh goodness. Well, I'll get out and my nose starts running. You didn't need to know that, but you're going to wonder, why did I say, oh my goodness. But anyway, after that, I'm going to go, well, after that, I'm going to go to Ulta. I told Adam I might, it just depend on how much I felt after I do what I've got to do, all these things, like the PT and everything, physical therapy, in case you're wondering. I had a doctor one time, my favorite doctor these days. And I said, I'm going to have PT. And he goes, what's PT? I went, huh? Maybe he was wondering if I knew what it meant. He's pretty smart. He's a pretty good guy. Torchy Tacos. That used to be, what was the name of it? But I'd walk in there, I'd do delivery or go stop there to get me something to drink. I forgot the name of the place. And every time I would say, I smell natural gas every time I come in here. After the first time, I told them. And after that, every time they said, yeah, it's our. And they, one of them finally told me that it was something in the front they had. And I'm like, that's not really safe, right? Seriously. And once I found out that they knew about it and weren't doing anything about it, because like the second time I went there, I wanted to see, had it stopped. Was it just that day? Because I do smell the the natural gas whenever somebody the place is not aware of it. Like there was a pizza place I've gone to before, and I told them, and they said, really? Yeah, I've had places, and there was another restaurant in another suburb of Dallas that they even sold it to somebody else, and I said, Adam and I walked in, and it became a new place, and I said, and I turned around. He gets upset, but at some point he started to realize, because Adam is like that. There's food. He's hungry. Let's go. But at some point he realized, listen to her. Because Adam doesn't smell anything. He usually doesn't smell any odors, I mentioned that. But I do. So, it's probably something protective in me because I have these allergies and all, so I don't get sicker. But anyway, as far as physical therapy, like I said, I've been kind of busy. I didn't do too much. We did it in the office today. So, my nose is itching like crazy. But, I really like this woman. So, you know, how she is about things. And we talked about things, and so I'm going to get back in physical therapy. Some of it I'm going to be doing from home, and because I'm going to need it ongoing. And I found out, you know, there's a limit on my insurance. Apparently, it's unusual for insurances not to have set a limit. I think there's two. You know, some of them don't, but some of them do. It's well, duh. It's either or, you know. Okay, I'm not sure where I'm going here. If this is the place or it's the next one, I better slow down. Yeah, it is this place, right? I do not remember. It's been a while since I've been here. You know, I didn't do the shop and pay things, shop and deliver, whatever they're called. After that, I had that experience at one of them. I spent all my time trying to shop and had to call a manager and everything because they didn't have the product on the shelves, and it took a long time, and then they didn't have any of the product. So I called the company, and they said that I was delivering for, and they said we don't give any compensation. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. You stop, me stop, whoever stops, I don't stop. Let's not stop there. Okay, but they didn't pay any compensation for it, and I had to drive there, shop, spend 30, 45 minutes, who knows? They're not gonna. It's just me wasting my time and gas and all that. You know, I don't always look at them as being the best, and I don't see that store. What's going on? Where is this freaking store? Okay, I was fairly certain, and yes, it is in this shopping cart. What? Shopping area? What is going on with me? And it is. It's right there next door to Skechers. Now I need to find me some socks. I can wear socks now. You know, I had this problem with edema, and socks would fit me like tourniquets, work like tourniquets for me, and all the socks that I had, and I'll do the smart thing. Okay, that might be a little sarcasm. I made toys for my dogs with them, my old socks, because they're going to tear up any socks they find anyway. And I know they're both rescues, different times, years apart. But I've made toys out of them, and they loved them. I would tie one up, put it inside the other one, tie it. They loved it. It was you know, they played with them. You know, they were like, oh man, 5 years apart. They loved them. And then that's around, I mean, it was like 2 years or so. Finally, I was started being able to wear socks. I don't have any. But anyway, I'm going into this place for something else. I'm going to Ulta, of course, for somewhere else. But there's a Dollar Tree right there. But no, I don't want to. Adam and I have both been saying that we've been spending a lot of money lately. And I told him, I said, we both know it. That usually once a year, and why? It's usually in February. We wind up having to spend a lot of money on shopping. Like, when it is, it's stuff we need. I've never really truly been able to figure it out. I mean, it just is what it is kind of thing. You know, it gets to some point, and that's what we do. Okay, that was a bummer. I went into that Ulta, you know, went to get one of those, you know, those little boxes. I like them. They're little carrying. They have little samples of makeup, like everything. They just have little samples. And I like to get those, you know, like once a year. Haven't been wearing makeup. I don't think I got one last year because I haven't been wearing makeup because of allergies and all that. It's been really bad. But first of all, they don't have any shopping carts. I guess they got rid of them for whatever reason. it's a bag you use. It's mesh. Mesh seems to be the thing, like in those school supplies for kids. But it must be in. But it's mesh bags, and you carry them around. Well, it's kind of physical therapy, and walking into the store is quite a bit for me. And to walk around trying to balance myself with the problems I have is one side is the hip, the leg, and the ankles aren't too great. But the hips, the hamstring muscles, and the ankles. And to walk around in the store to go look for stuff, I have to have a shopping cart. But anyway, the woman said those are seasonal. I didn't know that. I just like little samples, you know, in one little box, like $25 or something like that. And I really only want mascara, so I'm not even going to go for eyeliner anymore. Used to do that, but kind of had my fill of that. But anyway, oh well, it was a bummer both ways. No shopping carts anymore, and got to put all the stuff in a mesh bag to buy, you know. Don't buy the bag, but you buy the stuff that's in it and that you put in it, and then they're only seasonal. Oh well. I was showing all the stores back there, but there was too many kids. And even though they were a distance, I still try not to put anybody's kids in my videos. So even though it's in a distance, like I said. But anyway, so I had to delete that clip. There are all kinds of stores, but that Ulta store that I was going into, I want to go straight across, and look how that tire distribute thing truck was flying. Man, it was crazy. But what is this place? True Texas Barbecue. What store is this? Is this H-E-B? They make an H-E-B? Adam and I are like, what's going on, man? It is. It's an H-E-B. Because it's like, well, since the last time we were here, okay, they're making the H-E-B is what it is. It's in progress here. Yeah. It's not open. Because if it were open, they would have people all the way down there. I'm serious. H-E-B has been opening stores in this part of Texas. You know, I've lived in other parts of Texas, and they had H-E-Bs. That's the name of it, H-E-B. I need to get back over there and get out that same way. So I gotta go all the way back around. But they've been opening stores, and man, you want to, you know, even a year or two, however long it's been since they opened, those stores are the people all the way parked all the way back that far. I mean, they are packed. You know, it's been many, many years that we haven't had, they haven't had competition. These stores out here, the same stores. Look at all the Bubba trucks. Same stores. Like I say, no competition. So, but I was wanting to see what this True Barbecue was. Yeah, but it was attached to the H-E-B that's being built, so they're not open yet. Anyway, oh, and they're gonna have gas too. Yeah. So let's get back on the road and go home. Anyway, that was just disappointing. We'll go to the Ulta to buy one thing, and they those are only seasonal. I'm driving all the way over here. All the way over here. What the heck is going on? Now this one. Let's see if this happens at this one. There's pretty much, Adam and I have noticed, that you stop at a thing to turn. Once the light turns green, somebody, especially if you're how far you're into it, but somebody will be asleep at the wheel. Not asleep at the wheel. They'll be sitting there texting or watching, talking on the phone, watching something on their phone. But nope, they're making a liar out of me again. Second time to be made a liar out of all this. Well, okay, what's going on everybody's getting over into this lane over here. It's really not a good thing on this busy road to have all this many lanes. This is an extremely busy road. It is the main road. The main road on this, in this whole area. This one road, farm to market. It's Farmers Market Road, 544, I think. And it is where all the stores are, everything. So you're gonna do this? Have 2 lanes closed? Ooh, how wise. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, it's 10:21, but oh well. So I've got to. This is where I always like to do deliveries. It's right out here. And this, because it's one road, it's farm to market. So much is on the side. You see it, don't you? So much, so many restaurants. It's right here. It's restaurants, it's stores, it's this, all that. I used to go out there and just sit and wait for next order. And this is it. And everything is off of here. It's a small, kind of a small town, but people come out here to shop. So the houses where they'll be delivered, anything that's closed that I would accept. Well, I'm not going to accept ones. Quite often I would get ones that want to take me all the way back to my house. Okay, in that area. No, I'm only staying right here and doing it. That's why I'm here. Oh, but you wouldn't believe how many times I get all the way up here and said, "Oh, deliver back in that suburb. This is a different suburb." Nope, not doing it. So anyway, I am a little hungry. So the physical therapy was good. Okay, there's a railroad track crossing right back there, and I have driven these roads enough to know. I've never seen a train there though, but I've traveled these roads enough to know that you have to slow down. It's like a major speed bump. That railroad crossing place where the railroad goes across the road, So I know you got to slow down, or you're gonna really mess up. I mean, this road's 40, like I said, it's 40, and there'll be people going behind me. They think they want to be going 60 because they think this is a highway or something. And so they get behind me and they switch to the lane because I slow down. I'm not dumb. And it's funny to see, it's not funny. They could really get hurt, especially if it had been raining. But then they realize, you can see that they realize why I was slowing down. Yeah. And so they're a little smart aleckness. Zooming around, like, can't you, if you've driven long enough, I have 47, 48 years, however long, you get to know when people are acting like they know everything, and they're mad. How dare you slow down? Okay, you don't really know, but you can pretty much guess. So, you're not in the car with them to know, Anyway, what is that on that guy's back of that truck? See this right here? This worries me. See this busy street like this, and this is a busy street. They have this crossing that you need to stop for people crossing. And from this place, whatever this is, it's an apartment complex for people who are crossing the road. Okay, because there is a church over there. Whatever, a synagogue or whatever. I'm not sure which one it's called. But it worries me because I saw this recently happen, that a guy crossed the road, and I guess it was his wife and his child. They have to walk in their culture so many steps behind the husband, the man, and he was across that part of it. And then she started, and I knew that was the way it works. But there are some people who don't know that the wife has to wait. And they could have hit her. Because they could have thought that she's not going to cross, that she just stopped there and standing. no, she's waiting for him to get so many steps ahead of her. You see what I'm saying? And of course, I knew that, like I just said. So I just waited. I just stopped and waited for her to start and go and get all across the road. I'm not a fan of that. I mean, I understand why they do it, but at the same time, you know, that's dangerous for all involved. Okay, because, you know, if somebody sees that they're going to hit somebody, they might run off the road, you know, instead of hitting a person, and it causes them accident, and then they get hurt. You see, it could be dangerous for all involved, you know, but at the same time, I can understand. It's one of those, there's no real good answer. And you don't want people to be dying, getting hurt, all that. So, but isn't the grass and all this stuff looks so beautiful these days? It really, it's just so beautiful. And because we've had a lot of rain this year. And anyway, I'm just kind of rambling. I just did all these things, and I feel kind of energized now. But now I'm going to go home, and you know, I want to go out and get something to eat today, but out. But it's just so much sodium. Like I said, you know, recently we've been spending a lot of money on different things, and you go out to eat these days just for 2 people. It's so expensive. I mean, inflation's everywhere. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous how much stuff is going up. Like there's some stuff, you know, like I do insulin in the little Sharps container. Little plastic. Well, this is not a big expense for me. I'm not hard up for money or anything, so there's no e-begging or anything like that for me. We're comfortable, Adam and I. And but those little Sharp containers is a good example of how much something has gone up. There had been like $2.50, $2.50 for years. But the last couple of years, I mean, I'd say last year, they went to over $5 a piece. What? And even the cheapest store is more expensive than the grocery store. I'm like, oh, they doubled. Is that called? Is that an example of what is that term? Price gouging? An example of what would be like price gouging, all of a sudden doubling the cost of something. Yeah. I mean, seriously. Okay, but they're doing a lot of work out here. From what Adam said he's read, they're putting in a lot of new homes and new houses out here. And what we don't live right here, but what we would want is, how about a lot of new stores and restaurants and such? Because there's not much on it because of, I guess, zoning or whatever, that people say, no, these are for our houses. This is not for groceries and stores, and we don't want all that traffic. And I understand it. You know, you buy a house, we don't want one in our neighborhood either. But there needs to be an area for those things. Like the one place that we were waiting for years, they had the parking area, but nothing in none of the stores. We waited for years, and they made senior living communities, which, you know, are needed. But where are the stores we need? You know? So where are the stores? Yep, we're all traveling the speed limit and in the neighborhood, so you're not going to get around people like you think. Anyway, I cannot stand it when people want to drive like 60 in a neighborhood where there are kids, adults, people living. It's a neighborhood. But no, they want to go faster. They want to make sure everybody knows it. Move out of my way. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I I say the people who go and they're zipping around people and they're causing all possible causes of trouble and all this stuff. They're zipping zooming in and out of traffic because they're in a hurry and there are not that many emergencies. No. But, you know, they need to get there. And usually I wave at them as I pass them at the light. Or I do my hand, I clap my hands. I know. I clap my hands where they can see me. Oh, because they're right in front of me or right beside me. Yeah, you got so far. Call you know, sick people. They want to whip in and out, because they're in first. They're the most important. These lights are rigged. You would have to be zooming pretty fast to do it. I would say 9 times out of 10, they're going to be beside me or just in front of me or maybe even behind me at the light. They're going to be at the light. I'd say 9 times out of 10. And when I say 9 times out of 10, I mean it. You know, I haven't sat there and logged all the numbers and all the times, but pretty much, yeah. In other words, it's very seldom that I don't meet them at the light, or even pass them by and wave at them as I pass them by. It's not a bad reaction. I mean, I wouldn't suggest it to anybody because, you know, some people are just downright crazy and they might get out and shoot you. You never know. But no, I wave at them or clap my hands and laugh. That's what some people do because they think that they're most important. And everybody else's life, everybody else's safety, they're most important that they get there a little bit faster. Well, you don't get there a little bit faster. You were at the same light I was at. I know. At least I'm not out for vengeance. At least I can blow off steam by thinking stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, but I am hungry, so I'm going to go home and get something to eat. You know, we wonder what's going on. We know that it's something about they're putting in restrooms. And on the other side, we finally found out what this big area is, and it's something about that whole area. It's their, what do they call it? You know, like basically where they have all the people who are going to be working there. They have the building for the work on the parks and the I guess it's the park, what's it called? Nature Preserve. In the park, maybe it's the Park and Recreation, the main building. I don't know. I was driving and Adam was trying to look and read, and it's not right on the road. But I thought it was interesting. They need a whole big building with lots of stuff on it for that. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up.